Finally, Star Trek Picard Season 3 reunites the Next Generation cast with their last member. This is the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise-D. It appears in the 9th and penultimate episode of Star Trek Picard Season 3. So let's not only take a look at how this vessel came to appear in Picard, but also why it's so important to our family of the Next Generation crew. Take it away, Jean-Luc.
Engage!
Okay, well while you're here, hit the subscribe button to never miss a Star Trek video. In Star Trek Picard's penultimate episode, titled Vox, it was revealed by Geordi LaForge that he has been restoring the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise-D over the last 20 years. Where Geordi found the time to do this is unknown. Still, we'll dive into that in a moment. But let's not forget, the Enterprise-D has been no stranger to Star Trek Picard before it turned up. The CG model used in this episode is far more the Next Generation-y than the first episode of Season 1 of Picard. The new model is a good combination of updated tech and the original studio model aesthetic, which is probably what the showrunner and VFX artists were going for. As we know, the saucer section of the Enterprise-D was hot dropped onto the surface of Iridium 3. A plaque dedicated to the Enterprise-D is seen in Season 2 of Star Trek Picard, and it mentioned that the saucer was recovered to make sure its presence would not alter the development of the people on Iridium 3. Then it was taken to a Fleet Museum, which, as we know, is what Geordi LaForge is in command of. That kind of happened. The secondary hull of the Enterprise-D was destroyed in Star Trek Generations. So how was that section rebuilt? Well, it looks like Mr. LaForge went to work and found a perfectly good secondary hull lying around. As revealed by the Commodore, the USS Syracuse donated her engines and warp nacelles, therefore fully restoring the star drive section of the Enterprise-D. Considering how many Galaxy-class starships were used in the Dominion War, some probably lost their saucers, and there being numerous scrapyards of resources for such vanity projects as restoring the Enterprise-D. The USS Syracuse is a ship mentioned in the personnel file of Alfonso Pacelli, who, after serving on the USS Philadelphia, was assigned to the Syracuse on stardate 40276.2. That's a mouthful. Alfonso Pacelli would be transferred to the USS Enterprise-D on stardate 40299.5, and seen on the ship in the background numerous times. One such scrapyard in Star Trek Picard is from the Battle of Chintoka, which shows there's still some hull debris, so Geordi could have easily requested to use one of the Galaxy-class hull debris for the project. Making a Galaxy-class starship is a big project, and Geordi himself, however great an engineer he is, still has a lot on his hands. So he does mention that the port nacelle casing is still giving issues, which I'm sure is foreshadowing an issue in the next episode, and maybe we'll get Geordi rolling under a door in engineering again. Wishful thinking? Geordi also mentions the use of drones to assist in operating the Galaxy-class vessel, now being piloted by only a handful of crew. These drones are most likely dot droids seen in Star Trek Discovery, but fairly recently in Star Trek Picard. You can see them on the hull of the USS Titan A, repairing the ship after the battle in the Ryton Nebula. But why is the Galaxy-class, and by extension the Enterprise-D, one of the best ships in Starfleet, and why would Geordi take so much time painstakingly recreating the vessel? Well, the Enterprise-D and the Galaxy-class starships represent a shift in priorities and missions of Starfleet and the Federation. The ship wasn't just a military or science vessel, but an extension of the luxuries of the Federation itself. The vehicle was massive, with carpeted floors, and numerous amenities on board, including barbers, bars, recreation areas, and more. Yeah, they actually had a barber shop on board. Starfleet realised that more people would join Starfleet if they didn't have to abandon their families. This would be during the mid-24th century, when Starfleet was really in the era of peace. The Klingons were now allies, the Romulans were still hidden behind their border, the Borg hadn't been met yet, and the only issues were small border skirmishes for the Federation with civilizations like the Cardassians and the Zenkethi. Commander Orville Quinteris supervised the Enterprise-D's construction at Utopia Planitia Fleet Yards, and she launched in 2363. The Enterprise-D was an awe-inspiring technical achievement resulting from 20 years of development of the Federation Advanced Starship Design Bureau, including Dr. Leah Brahms, who was largely responsible for the design of the warp engines. The Galaxy-class starships were a massive 641 meters, crewed by over 1,000 crew members. As said previously, this was a shift to include civilian personnel as well, which included families like Mott the barber, Keiko O'Brien the botanist, Spot the cat, and many children. Throughout its continuing mission to explore a strange new world and seek out new life forms and civilizations, the Galaxy-class Enterprise-D would also improve itself. Under Chief of Engineering Geordi LaForge, the ship would undertake numerous improvements, developing a new Galaxy-class variant, the Ross-class. Not only would the Enterprise-D lead to a field in technological advancements, but would also leave a field in sociological improvements, carrying the flag of the Federation far and wide. The D would lead first contact with numerous civilizations, meet new life forms, far from a Borg, to even new life forms aboard a ship like Data, the Soon-type android. The D would be critical during the heating up of politics in the mid-24th century, helping to stop a Klingon civil war, the Federation being destroyed by the Borg, thwarting numerous Romulan plots, and much more. The USS Enterprise-D may have been destroyed a mere 8 years into its service, with its star drive section blowing up in orbit of Viridian 3 and the source section crashing onto the surface of Viridian 3, but the impact the ship had helped shape the Federation that we know today. Believe it or not, I think the USS Enterprise-D return is one of the worst kept Star Trek secrets. If you were paying attention to the news cycles, or just various Star Trek fan sites, like ourselves, then the return of Picard's former flagship might not be a total surprise. That and they teased it all the way through the season. Great camera work, bad signposting. Actor LeVar Burton, aka Mr. LaForge, accidentally let slip about the Enterprise-D back at Megacon 2022. LeVar said the following during the panel, roll the clip.
We spent 3 days on a bridge that they built that was a replica of the Enterprise that we had during the series. Because we moved off of that ship as soon as we got into the features, right? When Marina crashed, it was all over. And so we had to get a new ship, and we did. We got a succession of them. But we went back to our bridge, and it wasn't exact. I mean, the ramp was a little steep, but the feeling that it invoked in us, that sense of coming home, was real. So we spent 3 days on this bridge, and it was magical. It was like being in a time machine. We were transported back to the late 80s, right? And early 90s. It was...
So there we have it. LeVar Burton returned to Star Trek Picard Season 3 as Geordi LaForge had confirmed before the show aired. Thankfully, no one picked up on the actual plot of the episode, and many thought it would be a holodeck reconstruction. Paramount PR and Terry Matalas must have been sweating quite a lot during a run-up to this show. Another leak from LeVar came recently when he changed his profile picture on Twitter to an unreleased press picture of LaForge on the bridge of the USS Enterprise-D. Whoops. Of course, this accidental leak came with lying to deflect from the truth. Terry Matalas, the showrunner himself, flat out denied the return of the Enterprise-D in Picard Season 3, even replying to our Twitter article saying, nope. Let's be honest, when haven't creators lied to protect a story? It's understandable. Another leak came from a senior art department crew member when they revealed artwork of the Enterprise-D bridge under construction at Star Trek Las Vegas 2022. He spoke about the challenges of reconstructing the Enterprise-D bridge after all these years, so whoops again? Regardless of how it happened, the Enterprise-D is back. We've got a full complete breakdown of the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise-D coming next week with the conclusion of Star Trek Picard Season 3. Stick around for that one. The series finale episode of Picard airs next week with episode 10 of Season 3 titled The Last Generation. Given we've got Picard and crew back aboard the D, we know the final episode will be one of the big one, and hopefully show the epicness of the Enterprise-D. Are you excited about the return of the Galaxy-class USS Enterprise-D? How do you think the Next Generation crew will use the ship in the final episode of Season 3? Let us know your thoughts. If you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. We look forward to chatting to you soon. Okay, in the meantime, that's it for myself here on Trek Central. Thank you very much for watching. I have been Captain Jack, and I'll see you throughout the week with more breaking Star Trek content. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.